Hey everyone, it's Calvin, also known as Ormer, and this is Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair. This is my first ever playthrough of Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair. Semi-transparent glob. So we're gonna read through the text first of all, then we're gonna look through because we have time. We have so much time.
Still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
Yep. Okay, we can agree with this, or
trying to stall for time.
we can agree with that
How
too.
did they lock the door?
With the glob.
That door should not have had a lock.
The glob.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
It's the glob.
You can use that as a bolt to lock the door. By doing that, the killer who was hiding inside waited till we gathered together
It's the glob.
and suddenly appeared.
No, it was the glob.
So they looked like they had just rushed over. I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
Have you, Sonia? So I think we're agreeing this time. With
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door?
how did they lock the door?
That door should not have had a lock.
Okay, so we have to
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
Are you talking
semi-transparent
about
glob.
the broken drumstick?
No,
You
not the
can use that as
drumstick.
a bolt to lock the door. By doing that, the killer who was hiding inside
I'm confused. Maybe this is not the glob.
waited till we gathered together and suddenly appeared.
I still 1 second first
They
there.
looked like they had just rushed over.
Yeah, pretty
I have
much.
seen this in serial
But I think it was the
crime
glob.
dramas.
Well, what do we do here then? Which one do we
The
disagree
killer was
with?
still inside the music venue.
Or disagree with?
By locking the door from the inside. No, that's wrong.
Okay, so we just do with that. Okay. With the glob. Fair enough.
Wait a sec. There's also a possibility that the door was locked from the outside.
I didn't think of it like that, though.
From the outside? How?
There was a semi-transparent glob stuck to the venue door. Maybe that's what they used.
So someone came up afterwards and locked the door from the outside. Then what happened with the... Oh.
Semi-transparent glob. Like rubber, maybe?
Then what happened? It wasn't rubber at all. The semi-transparent glob was... glue.
I see. That semi-transparent glob must have been glue.
It must have been.
Glue?
Yeah, I think so too.
That's like... See, the thing is, like, with this trial so far, like, I heard that it's kind of like, you know, people feel a bit differently. There are people that love it or hate it. There's not many people who are, like, in between on it. For me, so far, I think this trial is just really harrowing. I don't think that this trial is going to be as interesting as the last one in terms of, like, the twists and... Not twists, but, like, the subject matter in it. But I do think that, like, so far, I feel like it's kind of straightforward. The things that's going to trip us up is stuff like the door being locked. I think that's the biggest thing, like, that's going to trip us up.
It had a firm, gel-like chewiness, and I could smell workshop chemicals the moment I put it in my mouth. Based on all that, I'm certain it was glue. I didn't know glue was edible.
It can be if
I
you
believe
think hard
it
enough.
is not something one typically eats.
That glue was only applied to the areas where both doors touched. By pouring it in the gaps of the closed door, we must have sealed the venue door from the outside.
And thanks to that, a glob of glue was left where the door was stuck. Yep, it fits perfectly. But if you just stick them together with glue, you'd be able to break down the door easily, you know?
Maybe me can.
That doesn't really matter.
Stuff like this as well is like I don't have much input on like what's happening here.
Inside.
I only did that to make us think. Because I feel like there's still so much stuff I don't know about this aspect of the locked door. I think the locked door, like I said, is gonna be the biggest like wrench in the whole or the whole machine.
What'd you say?
First of all, didn't that drumstick we found seem really obvious? Almost unnaturally so? It was so obvious that it makes more sense to think the killer placed it as a diversion.
Are you saying the drumstick was a trap the killer set on purpose? Then I totally fell for that fucking trap. Apologize to Miss Sonia and me. However, you're not allowed to slice open your stomach this time.
I love that he's like, please apologize, but also don't hurt yourself.
In a quarrel, both sides are to blame. That's why it's better to just have no sides at all.
No, that's not true at all. Sometimes you need to pick a side.
So, during the 10 minutes Hajime left the venue, the killer murdered Hiyoko and created a closed space?
And they also taped her up after killing her, right?
Even quick work has limits.
Oh, what unimaginable speed for a
If they couldn't have done it while Hajime was away from the venue, they must have done it earlier than that.
But when Hajime got to the venue, only Ibuki's body was there, right?
Yes, this is what's confusing to me as well.
And when you went back with everyone else, Hiyoko's body was there too, right? But it's possible that the body was just revealed at that time, when Hiyoko was actually killed earlier.
just revealed?
Of course, the body wasn't revealed on its own. The killer did that too. Here, I have proof.
That thing that I didn't have.
That scrap of paper. Is that what we found in the baton lighting
Who's
at the
we?
music venue?
That's right, but just what is this scrap anyway?
That scrap was stuck in the baton lighting in the music venue, I bet. Now I should be able to figure out what it is. Huh? Huh? It's a big word. Display question. What was the ripped piece of paper that was stuck to the baton lighting? It was paper. Of course. It was vapor. It was vapor. It was. I knew it. It was Wappa. It was Wappa. It was Wappa. I knew it. Damn it. It was water. It was war paint. It was war room. It was wall paper. It was wallpaper. Where's P again? There we go. There we go. I knew it. I knew it. Hey, give me back my E. Hey! Hey, someone give me back my E. Oh, we got a big R there as well. We could have used it. Oh, give me another R. Give me an R. Give me an R. I don't care if you explode. Take my health. I'm not playing your little game. It was wallpaper. I knew it. It wasn't Waper or Wappa.
That scrap. Isn't it part of the wallpaper in the storage room?
Must be.
In the music venue storage room, there should have been black wallpaper that's the same color as that scrap. There was also a tear along the edge of the wallpaper, wasn't there? You're right. If you overlay the scrap that was caught on the lighting with the tear in the wallpaper... See? It fits perfectly.
I see. So the scrap that was caught on the baton lighting was originally part of the wallpaper.
And what's wrong with that? Does it have something to do with Hiyoko's body disappearing?
A mere nobody like me isn't important enough to answer that. But if you guys were exceptional enough to identify that scrap of paper, you can figure this out easily.
The scrap of paper stuck to the baton lighting was part of that wallpaper I found in the storage room. Is it connected to the sudden appearance of Yoko's body? If I trace it back from there, the answer should become clear. Alright, let's give this a try. What do you mean? Logic dive? Oh! Oh! Yes! Speed up. How do you speed up again? Hold on a second. There we go. This is the best game of all time. I love Logic Dive so much. First question. Question 1. Give me first question. Let's do this. Logic Dive. They call me the logic diver. Question 1. Why did Hiyoko's body suddenly appear at the crime scene? It was brought there. It was hidden. It was hidden? Yeah! Question 3. Give me question 2 now. I love this so much. Logic dive. I was like so worried because I did not know what they were talking about, and then they said logic dive and I was like, yes. I can do this. Question 2. Okay. What did the killer use to hide her body? The wallpaper? No, it's wrong. It's the curtain. No, it was the wallpaper. Yay, we did it. Well done, guys. That was just as much as me winning as it was you winning. Thank you so much. I love you. I love you, Mom. Question 3, okay. How did the killer hide her body with the wallpaper? They covered the pillar. They formed a wall. Oh, I don't know this. They colored the pillar. They formed a wall. Which one is this? Oh my god, which one is it? They covered the pillar? Oh no, this is wrong, isn't it? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's wrong. Yeah, it's wrong. Oh no, it's right. Okay. I don't know. I don't freaking know. This trial is very confusing for Calvin. We did it. It's all coming together.
I got it. Hyoko's body was hidden before we found it.
That's incredible. So it was already dead.
It would have taken quite a long time to tape up a hidden body.
No, the body was already taped up and the killer hid it, along with the pillar using the wallpaper.
What? They hid the pillar?
Gundham, I know. I'm kind of shocked too.
Yeah, by wrapping the wallpaper around the pillar, the killer was able to create a slightly larger pillar. So when I first discovered Ibuki's body, Hyoko's body was already there.
Facts. Guys, I'm just going along with what was happening right now. I thought it was going to be more straightforward than this because like I felt like everything was coming to place a lot quicker than the last trial, but I was wrong. Okay. Calvin was wrong. You can all laugh it up. For the first time ever, Calvin was wrong. Okay.
Well, that's understandable.
And we wouldn't have noticed it with all
It
the
makes sense that
everything
you'd notice
happening.
Ibuki's body right away.
Right? Like if you're so in like worked up about one thing you're seeing, like someone like literally killing themselves, like you probably wouldn't see what's right in front of you sometimes.
So they used the baton lighting on the ceiling to hang the wallpaper?
The baton lighting forms a perfect circle around the pillar, so using it to hang the wallpaper totally fits.
Then, the reason the wallpaper was covered in so many stickers was to make it look like that pillar.
That's how they hid Hyoko's body, and then peeled off the wallpaper as soon as I left the music venue.
But the killer made a mistake. They accidentally ripped off a piece of the wallpaper. And because of that, a scrap was left on the baton lighting.
The killer must have been in a hurry. Their plan took too long. Hajime could have walked in on it.
And that would have been bad for everyone.
But going to the trouble of hiding the body and the pillar is very bold and risky.
It is, like, this is incredibly risky. Like, whatever happened here is incredibly
The
risky.
crime itself would be much easier to pull off since they don't have much to do while Hajime's gone. They just have to peel off that wallpaper and stash it in the storage room. It's not that big of a deal.
It's a big deal.
Then, when was Hiyoko actually...
I don't know why we're acting like murder isn't a big deal. This is something I can never even comprehend doing.
Good point. And on that note, it's about time we shed some light on those imitation murders.
Okay, I'm actually interested in this. This is the most interesting part of the whole trial.
mentioned imitation murder more than once. But what is that?
Are you kidding me? You haven't seen my masterpiece? The Wizard of Monami 2.5D?
Usami, if you haven't seen it, shut your mouth.
Hey, don't put my likeness likeness in your movies without my permission.
You should be happy someone put your likeness into any movie. I'm telling you this much, Usami. With your weird ass belly.
You're pretty noisy for someone who eats mothballs.
Monokuma's actually funny this game. First game he wasn't funny, now he's hilarious.
I don't eat moss balls. I just enjoy looking at them.
He's actually way funnier this game around.
I knew it. There are so many similarities. It must have been intentional.
Wait, you watched it?
Ibuki's death by hanging matches the Scarecrow's
You watched
death
it
from the
too?
movie. Not just that, but Hiyoko getting taped up after her death matches the lion's death.
That's what you think.
It's as if both crimes were replicas of scenes from the movie, although the mutilated Tin Man was omitted.
That's what threw me for a
Why
loop.
did the killer go to all this trouble in the first place?
I agree with this as well. To me, it's like, why would you even like go along with this?
Based on what we know, the reason the killer chose these imitations isn't that difficult to figure out.
Why? To let their accomplices escape, to mix up the killing order, to hide the weapon, because they like the movies. Huh? What is it? To mix up the killing order?
I see.
Hiyoko died first.
The reason the killer imitated 2 of the murders from the movie was so he'd mix up the killing order.
Then Hiyoko was actually killed before Ibuki?
A valid line of reasoning.
Yeah, it's valid. The condition of Ibuki's body suggests that as well.
What do you mean? If you're going to cry and beg like that, then I guess I'll hear about the condition of Ibuki's body.
Did she cry and beg?
I'm not even crying.
Yeah, I was thinking. I was like, did I miss something?
I'll let you sob as much as you want later. Just hurry up and tell me before I change my mind.
What a jerk!
Okay, Kazuichi.
Oh, I see. You want me to explain it to you, right? Because you don't understand what I'm saying, right?
An even bigger jerk? Impossible!
Look, Ibuki died because she hanged herself, right? That means when she was still alive, her feet were touching the floor.
What's wrong with that?
But
I love that he's like,
since
acting like
Ibuki
he's
is
like,
still standing
he's like a
when Hiyoko
child.
was killed, that would mean Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
that's what I was thinking as well.
How light. Your words are so light as the sylph's feather. Your opponent is out of your league. It is too absurd to try to perplex me so inadequately.
Man, he's being annoying again.
He's being eccentric again.
First and foremost, you claim Ibuki's feet were touching the floor when Hiyoko was killed. How can a low-class creature with no psychic abilities like you know something like that?
Because she was doing something that's only possible if her feet were on the floor.
She's doing the face as well.
It seems you suffer from a pathetic delusion.
Gundam.
You're one to talk.
I love how Kazuichi's genuinely upset with Gundam. Anyway, this continues. We're just going to talk in circles. I think it's best to be clear about Ibuki's status when Hiyoko was killed. Oh man, I don't think I'll be able to clarify anything, to be honest. I'm not a clerical person. Blood on the souls. Motel room key. Scrap paper. Scrap of thick paper. Candle. Step ladder. Blood in the souls. Blood in the souls is what we need.
When Hiyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
Yep.
I am telling you to present your evidence.
Did you see her walking?
Yes.
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
Yes. Hold on a second. There you go. I should have listened to everyone. I'm sorry. I should have listened to everyone's statements first. I never usually do that, but I knew what it was
Just
right away.
as Sonia said, Ibuki stepped on something.
Sorry for that. Usually we listen to the whole thing anyway.
That something was blood. There were faint blood stains on the soles of her slippers.
That is not Ibuki's blood, right? She suffered no external injuries.
Sonia, you're perfect. I love you so
It's
much.
Hiyoko's blood.
Connie, you're really pretty too. And this like proves a few people wrong, by the way. In the first game, when I only remembered it like this week that someone said it, like a few people actually said it, that like the reason I didn't like Hifumi is because I didn't think he was attractive. This girl's beautiful. I don't like her.
Hyoko's only wound was a fatal slice on her neck, and she died almost instantly, right?
If Ibuki stepped on her blood...
It means Ibuki was still standing when Hyoko was mortally wounded. Which means Ibuki was still alive at the exact moment Hyoko was killed.
Insane. I love that aspect of the trial. Again, I think this trial is a lot quicker than the other ones, but I love that aspect of the trial that it just like there is like this like weird, like almost, it feels close to supernatural, but we're trying to like unravel it so it doesn't feel supernatural, if that makes sense.
Underestimate the
Whoa.
power of the evil.
Gundham! Gundham is here. What if it was Gundam?
Is that it? A shepherd dressed in his Sunday's finest still reeks of lamb, Hajime Hinata.
Does that mean you have a rebuttal?
Does that mean you have a rebuttal? That's a good one.
Okay, Gundam. Okay.
But are you sure you're sure? If I show you how serious I am, this world might be destroyed, you know. You're so frightened you can't even make a sound. It seems you've realized our difference in status.
I love the end. Yeah, no, it's okay.
The time for conviction starts now. You better entertain me to the fullest.
I'll try. Here we go. Okay, so it's the little battle thing, which this trial's going by so fast. Smudge on the floor is what we need. I think that's the only thing that makes sense for this one, right?
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to Hyoko? Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no... You can't step on blood that was never... Just about one you can see a nice nightmare.
Okay, so we didn't get it there. Despite his exaggeration protest, I feel like I've already seen an opening to counter it. Is this a trap?
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged... Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on... You can't step on blood that was...
So it's that we have to like counter, I think.
Nice nightmare.
Do we have to like hit it right away? That's fine.
Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor.
There it is. There was a smudge on the floor. I knew there was a smudge on the floor. I just didn't. I usually have to do more than that and that.
The reason there was no blood
that
on
to
the floor
progress.
is because the killer wiped it away afterward.
Don't say such foolish things.
Did you do it,
don't have proof
Gundam?
of that at
With your
all.
cool ass makeup? Tim Burton style haircut here?
Yes, I do. If you look closely, there's a streak on the floor where blood was wiped away.
When the killer tried to hide Hyoko's body, they probably cleaned the blood at the same time, but... Ibuki must have already stepped in it, and the killer probably didn't even realize it.
The reason they wiped off the blood on the floor was so we'd mix up the order of the murders, right? Even if they're able to hide Hyoko's body, it'd be bad if her blood was left out in the open.
Plus, Ibuki's body was left out in the open, and it wasn't bleeding from any open wounds at all.
Mm-hmm.
Hyoko's body
I feel like we're doing a good job with the
was
evidence this
wrapped in
time,
duct
though.
tape to stop her bleeding. Actually, the bleeding will stop once the heart stops beating. So I don't think they had to go that far.
Aside from Nikon, none of us were aware of that fact, so the killer probably did not know it either.
Well, I wasn't totally aware of that either. I was about to be like, maybe he did, but I wasn't aware of that.
So it would screw with Mikan's autopsy?
That's right! I didn't know the time of death because of the heater!
The time of death wasn't mentioned in the Monokuma file just to keep concrete evidence from us.
Yep. Since we have all this evidence,
Because
there's no one else who
we would
wants to
find out
object,
exactly when they
right?
died. And we'd realize that whoever's on the camera is not
Then
Ibuki.
it's decided. Hyoko was killed before
I'm okay with that.
Ibuki.
I'm okay. Is everyone else okay with that? I'm okay with that.
It appears that it is wiser to retreat for now.
AKA, you got your arse handed to you.
Fine then. But regardless of good or evil, there's no deceit in upholding one's convictions.
Can't you just shut up and back off?
Now then, let us resume our debate.
Ah, wait a sec. There's something I want to run by Monokuma first.
Huh? Again? Didn't something like this happen last time, too?
Hey, if the victim actually committed suicide, what are we supposed to do?
The same as always. You have to vote for who the killer is.
So we could vote. I remember this happened in a previous game, right? Where the killer, we had to punish someone who already died, didn't we? Or something like that? And then instead they killed Alter Ego, wasn't it? Am I remembering that totally wrong?
Think about it. A suicide means you've killed the most important existence of all, yourself.
The girlfriend, self.
Unfortunately, that means there's no Blacken to punish, but I guess in a pinch, I can always punish Monami.
Okay, fair enough. That's fair. I think I agree. I think it's fair.
Nagito? What do you mean? If the victim actually committed suicide?
Because he's on the same scent that I was on earlier, I think.
Well, I mean, I understand Hyoko's death, but I'm wondering if Ibuki was really murdered. For example, it's possible Ibuki killed Hyoko and then committed suicide due to a guilty conscience, right?
That's totally impossible. Then she never would have killed her to begin with.
She was afflicted by the despair disease, remember?
Exactly.
That means anything can happen.
But if Ibuki's the killer, she wouldn't have been able to falsify the sequence of the murders, right? After Hajime saw the hanged body, the sudden appearance of Hyoko's body soon after means the killer had to be alive at that time.
Then she was alive. When Hajime first discovered Ibuki, she was just pretending to be dead.
I don't know about this one. I thought this too, but I don't know about this one.
She waited until Hajime left. That's when she could have made her move and mess with the crime scene.
I don't know.
She hanged herself. Remember? There's no fucking way she could have faked that.
And if she was going to fake her death, I think she wouldn't have chosen hanging. Her body would have been defenseless in that state. If anyone touched her, that alone would have ruined her plan.
I see. So that means there's no doubt that someone killed those two. I'm glad. Now I'm free to search for the killer.
What's a hack?
There's still one more issue on my mind.
He's so silly.
If Ibuki didn't commit suicide, then just what was that video Hajime saw?
I think it was like played beforehand, or it was happening beforehand. I think they found a way to like pre-record it or something.
According to that video you saw, Ibuki was by herself when she climbed the stepladder, right?
Yeah.
Then does that mean someone forced her to do it?
But her hair's not in that scene.
Forced? Perhaps they used hypnotism or something?
I don't know anything about that.
Don't say it all proud.
Putting that aside, it seems obvious that the killer did something. So maybe we should figure out who was able to do whatever that was.
So, an alibi. Then our plan is to destroy the weakest alibi. Since Hajime has seen the video, it is clear what time the crime took place.
But just to be sure, that surveillance
Okay, this is gonna
camera
end my
doesn't have a
whole
record
line of
function,
thinking
right?
then.
It's a cheap-ass surveillance camera, you know? There's no way it has
Okay,
some kind
that
of
ends my
sneak
whole line of
recording
thinking then,
feature.
right?
Then the video Hajime saw was actually live?
What time did Hajime see that video?
10 o'clock
I
p.m.
saw it at the hospital, right before Monokuma's morning announcement.
a.m.
And I saw the body at the music venue a little after Monokuma's announcement.
So Ibuki hanged herself right before Monokuma's announcement. And since we established that Hyoko was killed before Ibuki, that means the time that the murders occurred was before and during the announcement.
Then we just have to find the person who doesn't have an alibi during that time?
Now then, I shall issue my decree. Let Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi commence.
Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi. My head is kind of like, you know, latching onto a lot of things happening here, but at the same time, I'm like not totally with it. I'll be honest. I'm not totally with it.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi. What about you guys? I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Cottages are alibis,
Aside from
Gundam.
those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed.
Wait, if no one has an alibi, let's check. What was Fuyuhiko's account again? About Fuyuhiko met Mikan in the front of the hospital. They split up to search for Ibuki. They checked the movie theater and Electric Avenue, but they didn't find anyone. Apparently Fuyuhiko and Mikan were only separated for a short time. So maybe that's the one we have to do. And Sonya's one is... that's when Sonya apparently told her about the full-length mirror and the music's venue storage. So maybe that's what we have to do. Hold on a second. The murder supposedly happened before and during the morning announcement. That person who doesn't have an alibi for that time
We can exclude the
is
sick people like me and
Sonya.
Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
Sonya doesn't have an
I
alibi.
think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi. What about you guys? I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then
No. No, I'm sorry. I made that mistake. I made a mistake. That's my bad.
We can exclude
Okay, so it's
the
not
sick
Sonya's
people
account?
Like me and Akane, right?
Wait, what's Mikan's account? Right after the Monaco announcement that morning, Mikan was with Hajime. The whole time afterwards, she went to the hospital to check on everyone, realized that Ibuki disappeared. When she rushed to the hospital to search Ibuki, she apparently met with Fuyuhiko. So they have an alibi together. Okay. So it's one of these guys' accounts, maybe? I don't know what you guys feel about it, but that's like... I feel like I'm gonna make myself feel very silly with this. Is it because we have to do... Because we know Mikan...
And what about the others?
We know Mikan
Right
said...
before the morning announcement, I was totally
Okay, so is
sleeping
it
in
on
my
no one has an alibi? Because we know she for sure has an
So
alibi.
everyone who what about you guys? I was where I was supposed.
That's not an alibi.
For
aside from those
Sonya's.
afflicted by the disease,
Okay.
if nobody has an alibi,
This...
then
No?
Crap.
Did I pick the right one?
We can
No, I had
exclude the
Sonya's
sick
account.
people
I'm
like me
so
and
silly.
Akane,
Okay,
right?
that's my bad.
And
Maybe
what
it is.
about the
Okay.
Right before the. I was
I'm
totally
so
sleeping
it is
in
late at
my
night as
room.
I'm
So
recording this. I
everyone
never
who
record
stayed-
late at night
I
too. I'm
was
gonna blame it
where
on
I
that for
was
some
supposed-
reason.
Not
aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then
There we go. Okay, so that's right actually. That's actually the right one.
Hold on. Not all of us are missing an alibi.
Not at all.